Finally, the one day I came home from school, it was the last day of school. I was 13 years old, and I said enough is enough. And I took one of his guns, and I shot him.
All right. And what's your name?
Dennis.
No, okay. And Dennis, how was your childhood growing up?
Very, very rough.
Okay.
Very bad.
Okay. What's like your earliest memory?
When I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Living with my grandparents was good, but being abused by my real dad and my stepfather.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what happened?
My real father was never around. My real father went to jail for murder. He was running numbers. He was a collector.
Okay. All right. And how are things with him?
I didn't see him very often. The last time I saw him was on my 5th birthday when my grandfather shot him.
Okay. And why did he shoot him?
Because he was abusive towards my mom, and he kicked in the front door. And my grandfather was very protective of his grandchildren and his daughter.
Okay.
And they took my grandfather to jail, and he posted bond. He went to court, and he was let go because they said it was breaking and entering. He had a right to defend himself and his family.
All right. So he was there in the home when he was
Right.
kicking in the door. Okay. All right. So after he goes off to jail, what happens next?
My mom remarried to a gentleman named Don, and he was very, very abusive. Threw me through the sliding glass window, threw me down the stairs. He abused my mom, raped my mom. He sexually molested my brother James, which I found out about 15 years ago.
Okay. So when this guy Don first came in the picture, how were things? Like, was it good in the beginning, or was
It was okay, but I kind of sensed something as a kid. You know, I told my mom. My mom married him at the age of, I was 10 years old.
Okay.
And I kind of sensed something wasn't right with this guy, but my mom didn't want to listen. So it was the longest 4 years of my life with this guy.
Right. Was it just like a look? Was it the way he was talking to you? Like
Both the look, the way he talked, his demeanor. He was a big guy. He was about 6'7", 6'8", about 300 pounds. He was a big, intimidating guy.
So it was like the first instance of like abuse or anything that happened with him?
It didn't happen at first,
Okay.
but about a year after my mom married him, it began.
Okay. And did it begin with her or with you or your brothers?
Pretty much with everybody.
Okay.
I mean, with me, because I was the oldest of 4 boys. And I got it the worst because I stood up to him. And I had a learning disability called dyslexia. And that's where you see things backwards. And my grades were terrible. And so finally, the one day I came home from school, it was the last day of school. I was 13 years old. And I said enough is enough. And I took one of his guns, and I shot him twice in the groin. And there was a police standoff.
Between you and the police, or?
It was just between him and I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there was a police negotiator named Mary. I don't remember her last name. And she goes, "How can we end this?" And I said, "I'm just tired of being abused."
Right.
Not only for myself, but I was sticking up for my 3 younger brothers and my mom.
Right. And when the abuse first started, I'm assuming it was verbal abuse, physical abuse. Like, what was he? Was it beatings? Was it just him?
Oh yeah,
pushing you around?
he tied me to the bed and beat me with a leather belt.
Wow.
Because my grades were so bad. It wasn't because I was stupid. I had a learning disability called dyslexia. I saw things backwards.
Right.
And I had a teacher that worked with me, Miss Reynolds, and she got me through it. And then after I shot him, I went to juvenile court, and Judge Jennifer O'Malley, I believe her name is, had mercy on me, and I had a little, sent me to the Jones home for 2.5 years. And when I was away from my mom, And that idiot, my grades went from D's to straight A's.
Okay.
So then I went off to high school.
And when you shot him, what was going through your mind? Was it just like you were planning to kill the guy? And
Oh,
just-
definitely wanted to kill him.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
But
You just happened to hit him in the groin.
twice, yeah.
Okay.
There was several shots because he had a 9mm, and I did a warning shot, and I said, "You move, I'll kill you." And he called me a little bastard, and I said, "Okay, I got something for you." So then I shot him in the inside groin. Then he was screaming, and I said, "You move again, I'll shoot you again." And he didn't think I would, and I did. And then my brother James called the police, and there was a police standoff and stuff. I lived on Riverside Avenue on the west side of Cleveland,
Okay.
and that lasted for about 6 hours. And it was the last day of school. I just had enough.
So they were just trying to negotiate with you to kind of
Let him go.
Right, let him go, put the gun
Yeah.
down and all that.
Right.
Okay. So after that incident, did they take you off somewhere?
Yeah, they took me to the Second District Police Department,
Okay.
and they interviewed me, and then they booked me, and then I spent like a month there in jail, and then well, they transferred me to the detention center for juvenile court.
Okay. And then how did that end up resolving?
So what happened was they were contemplating if I should go to adult court or juvenile court. So they said, no, he's a juvenile because he's 13 years old. And then the prosecutor, no, he's considered an adult. So this went back and forth for like a month and a half, 2 months. And then it worked out through juvenile court.
Okay.
And then the judge I showed her pictures of my abuse, of my back, my eyes, and everything. And she was like, no child should have to go through this.
Right.
So she transferred me to the Jones home.
Okay. And how long did you stay there?
Almost 2.5, 3 years.
About 3 years. Okay. And then your brothers were still.
My mom divorced him.
Okay.
So my mom lived in Tremont on the south side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So did you have any contact with your mom, with your brothers while you were in the Jones home?
Some, but not as much as I should, but that was my choice.
Right. Okay. And why was that?
Because my mom could have put a stop to it, and she refused to.
Okay.
You know, she kept saying, "Well, we ain't got nowhere to go. We ain't got nowhere to go."
So you tried to have conversations with her about leaving him and.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for her, it was just, he had nowhere to go.
Correct.
Okay.
Because her parents was deceased. A couple of my uncles passed away and stuff. So, you know, she was working 2-3 jobs to make ends meet, and it wasn't enough.
And what did he do?
Don Truxell?
Yeah.
He worked on the east side. He worked in near, I think, Menor. He worked in a metal shop. I think it was a metal fabricator.
Okay.
Less I knew about him, he was a jerk.
Right. Okay. And then I know just before we started recording, you were saying about the boxer's eye, and then you said something happened with your wrist.
Yes, he punched me in the eye so bad that I almost lost my left eye. I had to have surgery. And then he threw me through a sliding glass window, threw me downstairs.
And that's how you.
Yeah, that's how I had the scar on the left wrist and
Oh, okay. Okay.
scar on the left eye.
Okay. So while all this was going on, how were the conversations with you and your brothers? Like, were you guys trying to discuss how to get out of the situation, or?
Oh yeah, all the time. My brother James was like flipping out that I shot him. He was afraid I was going to go to jail for life for attempted murder. And I told him, I said, I'd rather be in jail than to be with this guy.
Right.
So, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. So after your time in the Jones home, what happened? Did you go back home with your mom and brothers?
The funny thing is, my mom married another guy. His name was Charles.
Okay.
Good guy, great guy. It took me a long time to warm up to him because I was abused
Right.
and stuff. I told him to give me my space. And then I went off to high school to play high school football for John Marshall. And he was very supportive of me, but I was like a delicate flower. I was, I was drowned with abuse, and it took me a while to warm up to him, to trust any guy to come close to me
Right.
and stuff. So he was a great guy.
Okay. And then he stayed in the picture until you finished high school?
Yes, then him and my mom divorced
Okay.
and stuff. But I still called him dad because he earned it. He was a good guy and stuff. So he got mad at me one time. And that's because when I was playing football for John Marshall, Don married our old babysitter, my former stepdad that abused us. And my brother Jerry goes, "Hey, you ain't gonna believe who's warming up over there." And I go, "Who?" He goes, "Kevin and Larry." And I go, "What? You gotta be kidding me." And he goes, "Don's here." So after the game, I'm walking off the field, and he approached me, and I jacked him. I hit him in the jaw. And my football coach, "Someday you're gonna have to explain that to me."
Did you?
Yeah, I explained it to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. I hate that guy. When he died, I celebrated. So he died a slow, miserable death. He got cancer. I don't wish death on anybody, but I do him.
Was this like shortly after high school, or was this like way down the line?
No, what happened was I joined the service,
Okay.
and I joined the Army, and I came home on leave, and him and I got into it again, Don and I. And he told me that I should have killed him. So I was home on leave. I was in my military uniform. I was dating my girlfriend at the time. And I said, "Well, I'm not that little kid you can push around anymore." So I said, "Well, let's see what you got." So I took off my military jacket, unloosed my tie. I said, "Let's go." And we got at it. Then I went to jail again, military court, because I was in the service. So they took me to Cleveland jail. And because when you're in the military, you have to answer to their laws because you're not a civilian.
Right.
So then
So like, how did you run into this guy?
I was just shopping. I was at Sears on Denison Avenue.
Oh, just random.
Just random. I ran into him. Just ran into him. I'm like, and we got in a big fight. They took him to the hospital. They took me to jail and called my Army recruiter. Army recruiter goes, "Don't talk to nobody. Don't say no to nobody. I'll get you a military lawyer." So, and then went to civilian court, and the prosecutor was trying to hang me because he was like, "Well, he's a U.S. military. He's a trained killer." And I'm like, "I'm not." Okay, whatever. So then the military court stepped in. There was 3 judges, and they found me guilty for assault. So all they did was, I lost rank, 30 days pay. They said, "You don't cause any trouble, you'll get it back."
Okay.
So which I did.
And how long did you stay in for?
I was in the Army for 4 years.
4 years, just 4 years. Okay.
4 years.
Okay. Now, I was gonna say, when you were in the Jones home and you're kind of going through all this kind of stuff, did anyone set you up with like a psychologist or
Yes, they
counselor?
did.
Okay.
But I kind of pushed them away. I was just like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I was just like, leave me alone
Right.
and stuff. But the court stepped in and they said, "Nah, it's mandatory."
Right.
So I'm like, "Okay, I'll play your game." So, I talked to somebody for like it was like twice a week for the whole entire time I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it help at all, or?
It did, but I felt like they were wasting their time. I just wanted to be left alone.
Right.
Am I sorry that I didn't kill him? Yeah, I'm glad he died a slow, miserable death with that cancer. So it all worked out.
Yeah. And then what about like as an adult? Like, did you try to seek out a counselor, or you just try to leave it in the past? Or?
I pretty much left it in the past.
Okay.
Pretty much left it in the past.
Okay. And do you think, or I should say, has it affected your relationships, that situation in your childhood, you think, or?
It did at first, but when my daughter was born, it totally changed everything. So she's in the military. She's an officer.
Okay.
So I'm so protective of her, but she lives her own life. You know, when she was growing up as a kid, there was no way I was going to raise my daughter the way I was raised. And I was never married to her mother, but I took care of my responsibility.
Right.
Because I said, you know, I'm not going to have other guy raise my child.
Right. So you just have just the one daughter?
Yes.
Just one daughter, okay. Okay. And then what about your relationship with like guy friends? Because I know you said like how you didn't want to even have another guy close to you because of what
Right.
happened with your stepfather. So were you able to have like guys you were cool with?
Oh, yeah, my
like
best
that?
friend, Jay. We've been friends for 46 years.
Okay.
He's my best friend. I could call, if I need anything, I call him up. That's my bud. We got each other. He's like my brother from another mother. He's a good guy.
Okay. All right. So like going through everything you went through, I say like someone else is kind of going through the same thing. How would you recommend them like cope with it or move past it?
Get professional help. Don't shoot them.
Right.
Because the laws are totally different than they were in 1970. I'm 59 years old. I'll be 60 end of August. You shoot somebody now, you're going to jail.
Right.
And stuff. Get the professional help. Reach out. Use the resources that are available.
Okay. And did you do anything to cope with it afterwards?
I just played sports.
Play sports, okay.
I was a very good, basketball player, great baseball player, even better football player. And I hung around with positive people and stuff. So my stepdad, Chuck, the last guy, well, the one guy she married, it took me, like I said, about 2.5 years to get warmed up to him. But, it was slow. It was a work in process. It was like building a house. You start at the foundation, work your way up.
Right.
He had to earn that trust. I wasn't giving it to him.
Yeah. So after all that ends, you go off into the service. How are things with your mom after all that? Did you stay in contact with her?
Yeah. It was stressful. I lost my mom. It'll be 2 years this November. She passed away
Okay.
and stuff. So, it wasn't all her fault. I didn't blame her and stuff. I just wish she would have just handled it a little bit differently.
Right.
But I never, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, we never talked about it and stuff. So there was one incident that I went to visit her. Her and my cousin Julie were talking, and I was in the back room on the computer, and Don came up, and my cousin Julie asked my mom, is it true that Don sexually abused James and Jerry? And she said yes. And she said, whatever you do, do not let Dennis find out, because he will take matters in his own hands. So I heard the conversation. I got up and left. Mom, I got some errands around. I'll talk to you later. And then we got at it again, a third time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a third time. So, yeah, I went looking for him, and I found him. So I went to his house, knocked on the door. He was like, what do you want? He called me SOB. I said, come on. And he was dumb enough to come to the door, and I punched the window and drug him right through the screen door and started wailing on him. I said, you like to molest kids? I got something for you. And that was the final and last straw that I dealt with that guy.
And did the police get involved with that, or is that just between you?
No, I said, you call the police. I don't care. I said, you call the police and stuff. So, and then, but before I did that, I talked to my brother James on the phone.
Okay.
Because my brother James and I, we don't have a great relationship. And I said, James, I know you and I have our differences, but I need to ask you something very important. And you don't lie to me. Did Don sexually molest you? He goes, yes, he did. He goes, Jerry and I. I said, okay. He goes, why? I said, I got some unfinished business. So, but that happened, that incident happened in 2000, year 2000, I think it was, 2001.
Okay.
And then Don passed away, I think in year 2003, I think it was, something like that.
Okay. So how do you think your brothers sort of cope with everything that went on?
My brother Jerry passed away 6 years ago. He had a real bad, he got addicted to Vicodin, Percocets, and Oxycontin. And he died from gastrohemorrhage, which causes bleeding on the inside.
Okay.
He passed away. My brother Kevin, he passed away. And so he had a brain aneurysm.
Okay.
Those were the two youngest. James lives in Arkansas, so him and I don't get along at all. But you know, it affected them.
Yeah.
I know it did. You know, my brother Kevin doesn't. When he was alive, he didn't have very good memories of Don. He didn't know, you know, because he was little. He was like 3, 4 years old.
Right.
Where I, the oldest one, you know, when my mom met him, I knew something was up.
So, like, did they go on to have families, kids, or anything like that, or?
James was married and divorced 3 times. Jerry was never married. Kevin was married once. I was married once, and I'm divorced. Okay. So, but my daughter is not from my ex-wife.
Oh, okay. 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 But things now between you and your daughter, they're good.
Oh, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Great relationship. Love my daughter to death. From the time she was born to the day she'll goes on and have her own kids. You know, I will, you know, to the time my time is up on this earth, I will make sure she's taken care of.
Awesome. Well, all right, Dennis, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else on your mind, anything that you wanted to mention?
Just if any children or adults get the help that you need, don't follow in my footsteps, because the outcome could be a lot worse.
All right. Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Yep.